Okay, we have Alan, and he's on line 11, and his family's turned against him.
Alan. Alan.
Hi, Dr. Viscott. How are you?
How old are you, Alan?
I'm 48. I should say I look a lot younger, like a lot of gay people do. I keep in shape, and I try to keep contemporary and so forth. I'm a hairdresser by profession. 7 years ago, I was told that I was HIV positive. So I've had a window of 7 years. I've kept in pretty good shape. I should state that the way I came down with the HIV positive, and I'm absolutely certain of it, was I went through a rape by people, acquaintances of mine who drugged a drink that I had taken at their home, people I trusted with methamphetamine, and I was gang raped. And later I was told that a couple of people were, well, more than a couple, 3 of the individuals were HIV positive, actually had AIDS. There was nothing I could do about it, and I've since become HIV positive. I've tried to live a fairly normal life. I look very good for my state, let me say that. The only thing, I don't have a lot of energy. Your energy tends to drain with this, but I've shown no symptoms, direct symptoms, arc symptoms, or anything of that sort. But when trying to discuss this with my family, preparing them, or for any will or anything of that sort, I've been totally rejected.
How so?
Beg your pardon?
How so?
Well, my daughter will have nothing to do with me. She's 23. Not that we've ever been quite close, but I have supported her for a good deal of her life and been very responsible.
What is her response to this?
She just doesn't want to be bothered. She feels it's par for the course. Her mother has more or less taken an attitude that I'm not, I'm a Hollywood type, so to speak, a hairdresser, Beverly Hills hairdresser, la-di-da, so forth and so on, shampoo type character, the Warren Beatty film. My mother, let me just say the least, she's a member of a cult. She lives in an ashram. Not that it's bad, but she feels it's karma, and when it suits her, she's around, but when it's against her grain or other things pop up, like a certain holiday, she's not around, and there are times when I directly need people. I've just begun to avail myself of APLA, which I used to be employed by, not employed, I volunteered for.
That's AIDS Project LA.
That's right.
Who don't know?
And they're quite helpful.
Very good.
Very good. And I'm a veteran, so I volunteer some of my services to the VA. But this is not family. Now, my father is extremely, he's very, I don't want to sound racist or ethnic or anti-Semitic. My father is from a very strict Jewish background. And from the old, his parents came from the old country in 1911 or something. And very huge family. And he's just absolutely freaked over this entire, he refuses to discuss anything with me. My 2-year younger brother will not even talk the situation with me. He has nothing to say. Now, with a 7-year window, I have to say very honestly, they have told me at the VA, this is kind of miraculous as it is. I mean, they expect me, if not to drop any day, they do expect symptoms to pop up very quickly.
What are your T-cells?
There were 407, and then on the second count, they turned up 473, which is not unusual for a jump like that.
Yeah. But that's decent.
I've started taking AZT, which has had not the greatest reaction. I mean, I don't mean nausea, but it really leaves me very fagged out, if I might use that without sounding like a pun. I just really...
You're entitled.
I'm very tired from the AZT, and I'm worried about things like DDI or DDC because they're not quite proven, and not all the doctors are for them. But I will continue taking the AZT if possible. That's about the best I can do. The only thing I'm trying for, and I'm thinking basically moral. And let's face it, even if I did go on Social Security dependency, $600 and some odd dollars a month is barely enough to pay rent in the lifestyle I'm accustomed to. I don't live on Sunset Strip, but I live in West Hollywood. Rents are $700-800 a month. I just don't know how to survive, and I'm not asking parents for that kind of support, but they won't even morally support me or give me any kind of a back. I mean, they really treat me like a social pariah. And I just wonder, it's not so much for me that this call is being made, so much is being said about the great support people are getting from Dionne Warwick and Liz Taylor and all these wonderful people. There are a great deal of people, I'm sure, that are in my position, Doctor, whose family totally ostracizes them. I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one.
And this is coming home to millions and millions of people. It's not known how many people have HIV.
They say 2 million.
My guess is it's between
in California.
My guess is between 4 and 6, maybe even 4 and 8 million people in this country. The government doesn't even want to know the number because they don't want to be responsible for responding to the size of this epidemic.
Exactly.
And that means that this problem that you speak of is going to be a problem that millions of people are going to have because the disease has attached to it such a stigma. And, you know, it really tests out a person's real religious sense and religious philosophy because if you understand the highest human virtue, the Talmud says, is the simple virtue of kindness.
Right.
And that's not what your father is talking about. Therefore, your father is not a religious Jew. He's a phony.
No, he's not.
He's a phony.
Well, I feel the same of my mother in a sense, too, a very religious woman, but when it suits her
That's
needs.
a situation belief system.
It's that karma thing. You know, when she feels it's okay, then the karma works right. If it doesn't, then it's something I did in a past lifetime and I deserve it.
What it's about is you finding friends and you finding the people you have given to who have given back to you.
I went to a Marianne Williamson's meeting a few times. I found her somewhat enlightening, but at one point, if I might just stretch your ear a little bit, she made a statement that flabbergasted me. She said that during the 60s and 70s, the promiscuity that we created in a lifestyle manifested itself mentally and therefore became a physical manifestation in the 80s. Please don't tell me these green monkeys were created in the 60s and 70s and 80s to create AIDS all over the world and is creating this horror in Africa and India and universally.
It's certainly not a mental thing, right?
Of course not.
The lady is bonkers, if that's what she said.
Well, I hate to say that because she's followed by a great many
Well, who
people.
cares who she's followed by? The fact is that the first AIDS case in the United States was 1967.
Right.
That was a person who died, and their tissue cultures were alive. They found the virus in there. So this is not as simple a problem. Whether it's green monkey or not is not well
Irrelevant, really.
I think, you know, the place where it's hitting the worst right now, I believe, is India. So the whole world stands in jeopardy at a time when we don't have the resources, when countries are going under, their political systems are collapsing, and as we go into this financial depression, which the government won't even look at, and, you know, we're going to have to turn all of this, I wouldn't be surprised if we eventually have to turn 3/4 of our military spending over just to taking care of people from the epidemic and people who are out of work. And if your voice helps wake people up to what's going on, then it's not in vain. Stay in good health and find out who your friends are and be with your friends. David Viscott, terrible story. Terrible times. We need each other. We are all the same person. Don't forget it.